My life was going great until the doctors discovered an ancient scroll lodged in my rectum. By N.S. Lewis. I'm not one to go to the doctor. In fact, I'd gone 14 years without seeing one. The last time I went, I was in college. I'd be sitting in class trying to pay attention, and I'd feel the stinging pain right in my crotch. It took everything I had to keep from digging in right there in front of everyone. Then, I'd go back to my dorm room, and I would dig in. I got to the point where I couldn't pretend that there wasn't anything wrong. So, I went to the clinic on campus. The female doctor there put on her plastic gloves, pinched my shrunken, embarrassed penis gently with 2 fingers, and lifted to have a look under. "You have scabies," she said. Other than that, I've had good luck. Things go wrong with my body, especially as I get older, but so far they seem to resolve themselves. At least in the short term. In the long term, I know what the doctor will say. I drink too much. I shouldn't smoke. I should eat better. I should exercise more, instead of posting on Reddit all the time. I know all that. What do I need a doctor for? But last week, on the 6th day without a bowel movement, my stomach painfully bloated like I was pregnant, I called the doctor. The experience was every bit as humiliating as I dreaded, and every bit as necessary as I deemed. They found an ancient scroll jammed up my ass. Those who opted to read this post, and are still reading, are probably wondering a basic few things. How did the scroll get in that particular place? And what was written on it? As to the first question, I am all but certain that Melinda, if that is her real name, put it up there. At 36, I am a lifelong bachelor. I've always planned on starting a family and being 100% committed to them. But there are a lot of different women out there, and I want to get to know as many as I can before I settle down. I'm very upfront about this too. At any rate, I found Melinda on Twitter, which is a godsend for horny people. She had a very mysterious profile, and it was attractive in a very different sort of way. I'm not sure how to explain it. She was attractive in an unsettling way, if that makes sense, with long jet black hair that covered most of her heavily made up face. I wanted something different, and I found it. We didn't bother meeting up for lunch or anything. She invited me straight to her house for sex. She had set up a bunch of candles in a circle in her living room floor, and had wanted to go at it right there, on the circular rug. I tried to take a look around her place, but it was pitch dark, other than the faint glow of a few candles. Then she slipped out of her dark robe, and that was it. We got right to it. She was good. Like, really good. Everything was fantastic. And then, she put something into my ass. I'm not gonna lie. It felt good. So good that I, finished up in an instant. "It's time for you to go," she said. That honestly hurt a little bit. But I'm a big boy, so I put on my big boy pants and left. At the time, I thought she had just put a candle up there and pulled it right out. That's what I imagine it felt like. Now, I'm thinking it was her that shoved the scroll into my rectum. I can't get in touch with her. Her Tinder account is gone. I went to the house where we had sex, and it's completely empty. On to the contents of the scroll. It was written in Latin. I was quite the whiz at Latin when I was in college, but I've grown rusty since. I doubt I could have translated even back then. First, because there were no spaces between the letters, so it's hard to tell where one word ends and another one starts. And next, because it was written in Old Latin, while my studies were in Classical Latin. I kept in touch with my old Latin professor on Facebook, Christina. We had a brief affair, reaving Ovid to each other and then humping. I sent her the scans of the scroll, and she got really intrigued. "That looks authentic," she wrote. "Where did you find it?" I didn't want to tell her that they had found it up my ass, so I told her that a lover had given it to me as a gift, which, as far as I knew, was true enough. "Can you translate it?" I asked. The next day, Christina sent me the translation. "It seems to be a weird mishmash of iambic pentameter verse and a rambling prose," She wrote, "I did my best to make sense of it and preserve what I believe is the intended tone. It's very bizarre." I have Christina's permission to share the translation. This is the first bit of the verse. Here's what it says. "When the day is dark and the night is bright, when the swarm begins in its calamitous flight, when the deer run howling through the woods, then it's time to don your hood. Let the blood flow in a river wide and deep. Leave a lamb no safe place to hide. Sing it once, then sing it once more. Mistress, oh mistress, please open the door." And if that weren't creepy enough, the next part goes into the rambling prose that Christina mentioned. "I've lit the flame 5 times. It keeps going out. I think it goes out because I lit it. If I didn't light it, I think it would burn on and on like the stars above the battlefield, like the sun above the bodies bleeding out, stinking under the sun, rotting all the little insects, all the little deers. My lovelies, my heart, feast, my friends, dine on, and please let this flame stay lit, because the sun is gone. I thought it would burn forever. I thought the stars would burn forever, and now everything's gone, like a yesterday that no one remembers." After that, the thing really starts to go downhill. Christina says that it seems to devolve into a series of unrelated words, some of which she can find no record of ever having existed. There is a lot to this part, and it's all nonsense, so I'll share an example so you get the idea. "A person is throwing, a person is climbing, swords to the little farmhouse, with the rivers, unknown verb. The biggest thing of the girl, swiftly, therefore, unknown noun." There's like 1,000 lines of this, and then the whole thing wraps up with a couplet, once again, in meter. "What's come and gone shall come again. I'll see you through the door, my friend." Over the next few days, Christina sort of got obsessed with the scroll. She kept asking who gave it to me. Finally, I told her the truth about Melinda shoving the thing up my rear and then disappearing off the face of the earth. Yesterday, Christina sent me a message. "I'd really like to come down and see it in person. Would you let me?" "Sure," I wrote back. "It would be fun. We can read some Ovid together." Winky face. "You haven't changed a bit, have you? Anyway, I just bought my plane ticket. I'll be there tomorrow night. Looking forward to it." And that's what I'm doing now. Looking forward to Christina's arrival. Her flight landed about an hour ago. I offered to pick her up, but she insisted on renting a car. She said she had to make a stop first. Ah, damn. It started raining again. It's rained all day. And then, once it cleared up, it revealed the brightest moon I've seen in a while. I was hoping to sit on the porch with Christina and look at it, but I guess that's out. Maybe it's for the best. I heard some howling in the woods earlier, and it didn't sound like coyote. Wolves? Will they wander up to a house and attack a human? I better look that up. I'm really rambling now. Alright, I'll stop and post this. If we find out anything about the scroll, I'll post an update. Hey! Alright, Christina's here. I can see through the window. God, she's still gorgeous. Even under that hood of a giant parka. Oh no. The porch light just blew out. Wait, why am I still here typing this? Okay. I better go open the door. Here I go now. Going to open the door. Guys, make sure you go check out NS Lewis over on Reddit. That will be linked in the description. Big shout out to KSX, the first $10 patron. You guys can become a patron over on the Patreon linked in the description. Thank you so much. Go show the author some love over on Reddit.